Hello, I'm Dr. Brian McDonough. I remember early on in these videos showing people how to wear a mask. Now, obviously, that would be somewhat insulting now. Most of us have seen and worn the masks and we're used to it. But I do want to talk about maybe something new about masks that's not a bad idea, especially if you're going to be traveling on a plane or a train or with other people in a car or a prolonged situation with people. As you know, I'm a big fan and fully support the use of masks. I believe that it helps decrease the spittle, the spread of the virus that can go in that path, either for you receiving the virus or giving it to someone else. In fact, make sure you cover the nose, because if you cover the nose, that's the area where the virus actually can get a foothold at high concentrations into your body. But today I want to talk about something else. The idea of wearing two masks at particular times where there may be a greater exposure. You're starting to see more and more people do this, and you're actually seeing a lot of politicians, celebrities, and others doing it because they're realizing that they can maybe wear a mask that's of medical grade underneath a mask that might look better, or they actually are matching their masks with their clothes. I really don't care what people do when they're wearing them, as long as they do. But here's a classic mask, an N95. The N95 is a mask you could wear, and it's very effective. We use it in the hospital setting all the time. This particular one is fit for me. I've actually tested for it to make sure that if I'm in an environment where I really need that protection, I can get it. But you can get an N95 mask or a regular mask. But you could take an N95 and wear another mask over it. Now, why would I suggest wearing two masks? If you're in the business world, they often talk about the ability of preventing some sort of a disaster in business. And they look at a Swiss cheese model. And what they'll often show is a graphic of a piece of Swiss cheese, which shows how if you had anything getting through the Swiss cheese, the arrows go right through all the holes and they penetrate the Swiss cheese where it's easy to get through. If you add a second layer of Swiss cheese, because of the randomness of the holes in Swiss cheese, you actually decrease dramatically the way things can enter through the Swiss cheese. I mean, if you did it 10 times, it would be almost impossible. Well, the way the masks work is somewhat similar. At a microscopic level, one mask is pretty much airtight and will stop virus from getting in. But you add a second, it's almost impossible for the virus to get through. And that's the whole goal. So that's the theory behind two masks. You're hearing a lot more people talk about it now. It's not a bad idea if you want to be overly protective, especially as we're starting to get vaccinated and we're in those final months of this terrible viral pandemic. We can do whatever we can to try to protect ourselves and our loved ones.